question is, are you looking at the front of that picture?
Or the back. Think about it.
Sound advice if I ever heard it. Like who? Why do you say that?
Because frankly, nobody around here seems to like her very much.
Like who?
Of course. That's how the Shanghaiers would get their victims out to the boats in the harbor.
And how the burglars have been escaping with their loot. You're kidding me.
Cadborosaurus. His or her nickname is Caddy.
What does it look like?
Hardy Res, Joe speaking.
Hey, Joe, it's me.
Hi, Nancy. What's going on? Hello?
Hi, Frank, it's Nancy.
Hey! Joe, lock her up and then get to a phone. It's Nancy.
He's locking someone up?
Hardy Res, Joe speaking.
Hi, Joe. Me again.
Hey, Nancy. We're both here.
Is the dog still there, too? Never mind.
Hello?
Hi, Joe.
Frank, grab the phone. It's Nancy. Well, Goldie's owner came and got her. Her show name is Samson's Gold, by the way. Goldie for short. Hardy Res, Joe here.
Hi, Joe. It's Nancy.
It's Nancy. So what's up?
Hello?
Hi, Frank. It's Nancy.
I was hoping it was you, so what's going on?
I'm not sure yet.
Well, don't call us until you are sure, okay? This is torture.
Sorry.
Goldie. She's not a someone. She's a something.
Hey, Nancy. How's life in the Pacific Northwest?
Well, someone ransacked Katie's boat just before I arrived.
Wow, that's great.
No, it's not, Joe.
Yes, it is. Not for Katie, of course. I mean for Nancy. She's got a mystery to solve.
She's supposed to be on vacation?
Crime never takes a vacation, Frank. That was Goldie.
That was Goldie.
Bingo.
She's this dog we found. We're waiting for her owner to come get her.
That's nice of you guys.
Well, unfortunately, there's a problem. She's as big as an SUV.
Fully loaded.
She's in the garage. I'm upstairs. That's how big her bark is, so you can imagine how big she is. Great Dane.
Yikes! How does somebody go about losing a Great Dane?
Good question.
Enough about us. Let's hear about this case of yours, Nancy.
That's the good news.
We're talking triple digits.
Wow!
Enough about us. Let's hear what you've been up to, Nancy.
Her owner is on his way to pick her up.
He'd better be. Goldie, be quiet!
It was on her collar along with the phone number.
There's just one problem.
What?
It was on her collar along with the phone number.
There's just one problem.
What?
Goldie is about as black as dogs get.
I'm sure her owner can explain when he comes to pick her up.
Which better be soon. The neighbors are starting to complain about the noise. Goldie, bad dog!
Hey, Nancy. Joe tell you the bad news?
I thought giving a dog the size of an SUV back to its owner would be considered good news.
The garage, Nancy. The garage is... well, it's...
a mess.
a big mess.
A there goes the reward money mess.
A clean it up before any parental units come home and kill you mess.
Sorry, guys. Do you have time to talk?
Oh, yeah.
We could use the fresh air. When you talk to people, just keep two things in mind. Motive and opportunity. Two things all suspects have in common.
I think Nancy already knows that.
Yeah, I know. It's just that she's there and we're here and I'm... getting real tired of that dog. Why do you think she doesn't like her?
What's he got against Katie?
Uh-oh. When emotions run high, so does the probability of bad behavior. Keep an eye on that one, Nancy. The old green-eyed monster. Jealousy breeds contempt, you know.
Familiarity breeds contempt, Joe.
So does jealousy. Trust me.
Well, watch out for him, Nancy, because you just described yourself.
Huh?
What do you mean this guy seems to like Katie?
He's trying to buy her out. He may have trashed her boat as a way of making his offer seem more attractive to her.
Okay. Possible culprit, definite suspect. I know how he got the boat in the bottle. Can't tell you. Been sworn to secrecy. But I can tell you this. It does not involve any kind of shrinking machine. You do?
Well, my guess is you build the boat outside the bottle, then collapse the sails so they lie flat. Stick the boat and the sails in the bottle, then raise the sails once it's in place. Am I right?
I'm not telling. Nothing wrong with following up on a hunch. Goldie, no! She must have thought I said lunch. Absolutely. A GPS would make a great gift, don't you think, Nancy? For, like, say a big brother to give his little brother for, like, say his upcoming birthday?
That probably depends on the big brother.
And on what the little brother has done for him lately.
Always a catch.
You found a geocache. I hear that using GPS units to track down stuff that other people have hidden is a hobby for some people.
That sounds cool.
Sure does. In fact...
Sounds like you're not convinced.
I just find it hard to believe she'd be ashamed of something that happened more than 100 years ago.
But why would she burglarize herself?
I don't know, and I have to admit she did seem genuinely surprised when I told her about the trap door.
That settler who used to disappear every so often?
Benjamin Hawkins?
Maybe that's where he hid, in the tunnel.
You obviously don't have any black sheep in your family. Frank, should I tell her about our great Aunt Remy?
You do, and you're grounded.
See what I mean?
I doubt it. The hot kettle wasn't built until 1866.
The tunnel could have been there first. Could be a lava tube or some other natural formation.
And if Hawkins did use the tunnel, he could have left something down there.
Something valuable.
Make sure you see everything there is to see down there, Nancy.
Keep going, Nancy. You're getting close to something.
Yeah, you've got doors flying open all over the place. Just keep it up. Maybe whatever he hid is in the sea caves.
Joe, we don't know for sure that he hid anything.
It's called optimism, Frank. That pretty much describes everyone you've ever dated, doesn't it, Frank?
It's probably a descendant of a prehistoric reptile called Plesiosaurus.
You don't really think there's a sea monster out there, do you?
People probably just don't want to admit they've seen it. Keep an eye out, Nancy. This vacation of yours may not be a complete bust after all. A shipwreck? Now you're talking.
Yeah, tell us more. What?
Who?
What kind of crime?
Uh-oh. You know what, guys? It's kind of a long story, and it just hit me that I don't have a lot of time. I'll call you as soon as I get everything wrapped up, okay?
Wait a minute, you can't just hang up.
Can and M. Sorry, guys. Bye.
Somebody saw something or we wouldn't be having this conversation. Oh, and Joe, that thing about me giving you a GPS for your birthday? Not gonna happen.
Me and my big mouth. Uh-oh. Say no more. He's your man.
He is?
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The person you least suspect is always the culprit.
Mysteriously?
Whenever this ex-pirate would show up, Benjamin Hawkins, that was the settler's name, he'd vanish for days at a time. Nobody knows where he and his family hid.
I know how he did it. That narrows it down.
I'm assuming the ship is now a shipwreck. I'm trying to find out its full name, and I've become a bit of a wood detective in the process.
What does a shipwreck have to do with a vandalized boat or an orphaned whale?
A global positioning system? Cool!
If you have the coordinates for a specific place, you just enter them and it shows up on the display screen, right?
I think so. I haven't had to do that yet.
A global positioning system? Cool!
If you have the coordinates for a specific place, you just enter them and it shows up on the display screen, right?
That's right. In fact, I did just that and found a box someone buried on this secluded beach.
Any idea what her problem is? You think it was an accident?
Well, the lighthouse is in pretty bad shape, but I can't help but wonder why Holt Scotto has taken such an interest in the place.
Maybe he just thinks they're cool. I know I do.
You might try searching around on that laptop of yours.
To find a live male crab, though, I'm pretty sure you'll have better luck elsewhere.
As for question number 2, you're gonna have to go see the world. You just need to dislodge it with something.
There's plenty of stones on that beach, and you've got a good arm.
So get skipping. Take a good look at your GPS next time you're out in your kayak.
Those numbers that tell you where you are should look kind of familiar.
Were you to add something to your GPS, who knows where you'd end up? The secret is in the symbols.
And the key is in the kettle.
Shoot, that reminds me. I mailed a letter and forgot to put the flag up.
Maybe we should just spell it out for her. What do you think, Frank?
Just give her the answer? I think we should nip that idea in the bud. Alphabets aren't always made up of letters, you know.
One alphabet in particular uses words because letters can sound alike when you're spelling something out loud.
It seems to have an unflagging interest in silly words.
And it likes to hang in kettles.
Take a look in Holt's duffel like he suggested.
Yeah, a good look.
You can solve a number of problems that way. Royalty has its privileges.
Sometimes they get to do things twice.
The name of one of the chess pieces rhymes with what Bess currently likes to do.
Move it twice and you'll have yourself a king.
Sometimes letters get scrambled into anagrams before they get assembled into words.
Sometimes detectives have fancy laptops with fancy software that can unscramble them.
Know what déjà vu means, Joe?
Already seen.
Very good. You've got that one in the bag, don't you?
Maybe you should just bag it.
Maybe you should just book a stool at the hot kettle and fish for answers there.
Oil never tell.
Be nice if you had some oil.
A little tunnel vision would come in handy too.
Look around for some spares.
There must be some around there somewhere. After all, it's a lighthouse. You could probably pick one up at Katie's, don't you think, Frank?
Joe, sometimes your wisdom floors me. Maybe you're supposed to manipulate them until you get a certain combination of cards.
Easy, Frank. We're just supposed to give her a hand. Not poker.
Don't worry, Nancy. This one's in the bag. Just keep looking. Maybe you're supposed to manipulate them until you get a certain combination of cards.
You know, sometimes the name of a place says it all.
I'd kind of like to table this conversation.
Not yet. She just needs a little push in the right direction.
I have the feeling she could be stepping into a trap. She did use some odd terms.
If I were you, I'd hit the net and start searching.
Since this picture has two sides, you're just going to have to keep track of what both sides look like.
Don't worry. Once Caddy gets it together, things are sure to take a turn for the better. Something tells me it'll be clear sailing once you figure out what symbols match up on those dials.
Give it a spin, and who knows what might happen.
Maybe this is where the thing Hilda left you in that underwater cache does its thing.
Use what she left you to check out the boat at Andy's.
It'll be clear sailing once you figure out what symbols match up on those dials.
Give it a spin, and who knows what might happen. Be careful.
And have fun.
Call us anytime.
Yeah, it's a pretty sure bet we'll be here.
Bye, Nancy.
See you around the compass. Make it soon.
And keep up the good work.
From then on, you're going to have to mind your P's and Q's.
He means your P's and S's.
Right, and pretend you're on a boat.
Yeah, that should point you in the right direction.
First thing you need to do is find a way to get below ground.
I'm floored that we haven't discovered one yet.
Kinda burgles the mind, doesn't it?
Sounds like something down there has a peculiar shape.
And something above it is worth looking at. There's obviously something in the tunnel with a peculiar shape.
And something above it worth looking at.